Good morning, everybody. Give me a second. I'm going to share the stream, and I'll be with you guys in a couple of moments. Just a couple minutes, guys. I'm just sharing out. It's not frozen. Wait, hold on. Let me see here. Someone's saying there's a problem with trade ideas, so give me 1 second. That's weird. Give me 1 second, guys, here. Yeah, I don't see a problem with trade ideas right now, so let me see here. All right, give me 1 second. I'm just sharing live, guys. I'll be right with you. Good morning, traders. What is going on? So I see some people are saying there's issue with trade ideas. On my end, I'm not having issues with trade ideas, so I'm not sure if it's a problem with our screen share. It shows we have 36 people on right now. Anybody that's looking at trade ideas right now, if you can see trade ideas fine, just let me know. If there's a couple people having issues with trade ideas, you might have to log out, log back in, all of that good stuff. So if you're still logged in, or just got to refresh your screen or something. But if you are, or you can see trade ideas, just shoot a message over in our chat room and let me know. Again, guys, if you're coming and joining us, right over, where am I over here? Let me just pull this up right over here. Oh, that's maybe not going to work. Let me do this. Move it up. There we go. Gotta love multiple screens. All right. Thanks, Big Bear. I appreciate it, bud. So yeah, if you can see it fine, guys, if you're having a problem seeing trade ideas, it's got to be on your end. Yeah, there are going to be, guys, if you see gray screens over on trade ideas, that's supposed to be that way on the pre-market. That happens every single day. You got to wait for the market open for those screens to show. Look at the time in the bottom right. The time on the bottom right of mine is showing 9:14. So if it's still stuck, I don't know what to tell you guys. Got to log out back in, or it just might not going to work today. Not sure what to tell you. All right, so let's go over here and take a look at the pre-market. Let me see here. So BLNK is running this morning. As you can see here, this piece of garbage is going back up still. You can see it. There's still that gap that wants to be filled. You can see over here, right there. So you can kind of see there was like this kind of this pennant pattern right over here. It's kind of breaking out of it right on the daily. You can see, draw this kind of right, kind of here, right? Kind of see a bull pennant on the daily breaking out, and now you want to see if it's going to go up and fill that gap at some point. So got to keep an eye on it. Again, got to be aware of these patterns, guys. Super important. Guys, be very careful for those that are talking about pre-market. Be very careful buying a stock at the pre-market. Very, very, very potentially dangerous to do. We are not advocates of doing that. Sure, you can get better entries at times, but you could also lose a heck of a lot of money as well. So be super careful getting in on anything during the pre-market. Because again, you know, whatever happens at open is what's very important. So you can trade it. Again, sometimes it could be very difficult. You could see like on a stock like BLNK, there's a 12-cent spread right now pre-market. So things could get very, very volatile. All right, so BLNK we're going to be watching. You see a pattern on the daily. You get that bull pennant. It's in the gap right now, and it's going to be volatile. So gotta watch and see. Guys, sorry about the pre-market thing. I don't know what's going on with if trade ideas. If some of you can see it, some of you can't. I don't know how to fix it right now if you're still having issues, because I mean, it's showing my screen here. I could restart it and try and do another one, but we'll see. Hey, Dan, are you on right now? Dan, are you in the chat room? Dan, when you can hear me, type in the chat room. Let me know if you can see trade ideas. If you can see it, fine, we'll keep going. If you can't, maybe you can do a different join.me on your end and update the website and get a new link. So whenever you can hear me, Dan, or whenever you're on, let me know. All right, sorry guys. See, I'm so terrible at multitasking. I'm a very singular focused person, so that trade is the thing. Yes, meaning what? Yes, you can see it, or yes, you're on. What does yes mean, Dan? Okay, I'll share a stream. Is mine broken, Dan? Oh, all right. SFUN. Fun. S-fun. So you can see kind of this big cup and kind of handle pattern being formed here. You can see price is holding its highs at the end of the day. Needs a bit overextended or broaching overextended on the daily over here. Again, big kind of candlestick, green one on the daily. Got to watch these patterns, cup and kind of handle right at resistance. So I'm going to put some resistance also at $6. And then again, $6.50 up here. So you can see kind of the cup and handle, but then that cup can extend the top of that cup higher, right? It can keep extending up, right? These areas of resistance. So SFUN is another one to watch. Let me see here. GEMP. Let me take a look at that one. Not much on the volume right now. So volume's a little bit choppy right now. You can see that 627 area right there. It's above that, potentially going to get above that 50 SMA. And then keep an area around that $7. And then obviously pre-market high of 760. It's not doing much of anything right now. All right, cool. Dan just updated trade ideas for any of you guys that are watching, so I'm going to just shut this stream down. Gotta love technology. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know if I like that one as much right now. Let's take a look at CLMT. Where's my cursor? There we go. CLMT. Looks like, I wonder if this is a 5-cent spread stock. Oh, that's weird. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's a 5-cent spread stock. It is moving up pre-market. I'm not a huge 5-cent spread stock guy, so I usually don't trade those. Some people like them. I'm not a huge fan, so I don't like it. Here is, or was still moving up. Let's take a look at it. It's still moving up. Again, that 1993 pre-market. Lots of volatility. You can see really super overextended right now. So one to keep an eye on. Again, moving up right below that $20, selling off. No coincidence, those whole and half dollar amounts, psychological support and resistance areas. Super overextended, so watch. It might continue up or it might fail below that $20. If it breaks above 20, you want to see it hold. What else we got here? SE. Take a look at SE. SE might be doing a little bit of a reversal. Let's see. 1229 is the pre-market high. It's a little bit choppy in volume, but it was riding the 9, pulling back. You can see it might be trying to get above the 20 EMA. I don't even see where the 200 or the... Oh, that's the weekly. Never mind. Let me go back over to the daily. All right, so this one's moving up pre-market. You can see some support resistance areas. $12, 12.29. You know, see if it can... The EMAs will separate and continue upwards. One to potentially watch. You'll never sit in a play for the bell. Yeah. I mean, it's smart, David. Got to be careful. Pre-market trading is it's risky, right? So far, SUFN possibly no volume right now in the pre-market, but is holding the highs. Blink BLNK is going to be volatile. Let's take a look at some of the ones from the watch list. HTBX, Dan was saying, or had on the watch list. Let me just get rid of these drawings. So this is a volatile one, huh? You can see right here the base of that gap. 185 pre-market high. So this one right here might have some volatility. Obviously it pumps and then it dumps. So, you know, see if it can get above that pre-market high of 185 and continue up. See if it can maybe fill that gap and watch that 236 resistance if 185 breaks. So HTBX is one to keep an eye on. All right, let's take a look at RDVT. That one's selling off right now. CLMT we talked about. It's got that 5-cent spread to it. Not doing much, but he might be setting up for a break above $9. It's just a little bit choppy right now. Not much going on. RKDA, nope. GEMP, you know, kind of trading in that channel there, and might be trying to get above that. See the 628 marker, that 50 SMA. If it can stay above that 50 SMA, it has some chance to move. So that one might be one to keep an eye on. Which one is this? GEMP. Yeah, so this one might be creating a reversal. Let me go to the hourly. It's above the moving average lines on the hourly, a bit overextended, but one to keep an eye on. So again, this 50 SMA, very important area. You want to see it get above that, and then see if it can break above the pre-market high. You can see it's about 650 now, so it might be kind of consolidating, just waiting to see here. You can see the 9 is above the 20, so yeah, GEMP is one to keep an eye on as well. So far, looking at GEMP, HTBX, BLNK, and then SFUN. Let's take a look at the futures. Futures are, look at that, double bottom, breakout, comes back down. Now you kind of have this cup and handle touching off the 9 EMA. So see if that 2700 9 EMA area will hold. So guys, as you'll see, yesterday, Dan, we call him the trend line master, or he likes to call himself the trend line, the trend line master. But as you can see, Dan is very, very, very good with the technicals. He's really good. I'm more of patterns and more kind of basic, but Dan's got his, if you want to really learn the in-depth of technical analysis, Dan's the guy to teach you that kind of stuff. He's super good at that. So hope you guys enjoyed that yesterday with him. We have some private members videos in our back office under our members only area right over in here. Where is it? Right over under members only videos right here. Dan has a bunch under his trend lines and momentum strategies and all of that. So exactly, David, that's right. I bust on Dan because I don't like having anything cheesy, but he has this Twitter handle, Trendline Master. I'm trying to let him go with it. But it's silly. But I guess you got to be silly, right? But he is a trendline master, so I can't deny that. He's super good with trend lines. So all that to be said, guys, you know, everybody's a different type of trader. I kind of slow things down. I look at more patterns. Dan does as well, but he's super in and out. He's very great on the 1 minute chart. I like to slow it down with the 5 minute and look at patterns. So again, some people like to go super quickly and some are more quicker. Dan's more of a boom, boom, in and out really quickly, and he's awesome at that. So GEMP, let's take a look at that. GEMP is at pre-market high. See what happens at the open with that one. Getting a little bit of volume. You want to see volume come in, guys. You want to see it right here. It's right 666, 660, right up around here. See if it can break above and hold. If it breaks above, you want to see it hold and get some volume and then continue. BLNK is now moving up to, let's see, where is it? Here we go. So you can see it just goes and kind of just pops right up, comes back down. Happens all the time. I'm going to see it continue and break pre-market high. Got to be careful ones like this. Super volatile, right? $7 right up to $7.39. You have a 40-cent candle that quickly. You're welcome, Dan. So now you want to see it hold. All right, so you got to be careful at the market, guys. When this happens like this, sometimes you just got to let the market play out for a few minutes and go. Sometimes you'll miss the move. Sometimes you'll catch it. You got to, again, be aware of prices in the gap, very volatile, a low float stock. And you can see $7 up to $7.54. Really that quick. Boom, boom. Exactly. Those hotkeys are great, right? Hotkeys are really great to get in and out of positions like this. But, you know, guys, that's where it's important to let, you know, give it a few minutes, right? Give the market a few minutes to play out. Just because something's running pre-market doesn't mean it's going to keep going. Just got to let the patterns, again, play out, find the support and resistance, and then see what's going to be running. Right now, things are just kind of slowly selling off right now. The market is down. Actually, it's not down, but it's teetering. Let me go to a different chart. It's up, actually. My chart, I had to fix it. Dang, David, great job. That's quick. You're super quick on the trigger. Yeah, gotta love those hotkeys, right? So I personally like to slow it down when I'm trading, and I like more of the pattern, so I kind of like to let a 5-minute look at this here. Now you want to see it break above and hold 757 if it can, right? So you can see it just went right above, pull back down. Got to buy as close to the 9 as possible when the pattern looks well. Right now it's very choppy. So at this point, you want to see price get above 757 and hold. Right there. Now it's here. Now you want to see it hold. This is the one people are watching right now. Lots of volume. Just be aware, again, it's in the gap. Gap creates volatility. You can draw your trend line kind of right up in here. Kind of like that, let me say. There you go. It's a little bit better. So now you kind of have your trend line. Watch it. You can see super volatile right now with these wicks. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Overextended. So now at this point right now, the pattern just, it's again, very volatile. You want to see if this is going to continue upwards. This candle kind of close at its highs and then price to get above it and continue upwards. Just being aware, you know, it's very high risk management, $7 to $7.65. If you were to get in, if this holds and price can get above it, you can get in at the break above that. And then, well, see, look at that. As quickly as we're talking, look at that. See that? That's why you got to let these things be careful. HTBX, by the way, is moving right here. Now you want to see it break 185. That's why we like, so at this point, guys, you want to see HTBX break above 185 and hold. And you can see it's in a gap. So that's why we like watching some of these ones from our watch list, because sometimes like those ones that are on trade ideas, they pump up and they dump and they take a while to kind of form and kind of let the pattern form, whereas ones on the watch list many times will fly under the radar a little bit, get a move, and then you might have to just wait for one from trade ideas that's been moving to kind of form its pattern, right? So as you can see here, it's kind of struggling at that 185 marker. It's in the gap again. You might be seeing a 9 and a 20 crossover. Just be aware that the moving leverage lines are pinching. But now at this point, you want to see it get above that 185 level. Yeah, our weather was crazy in Connecticut yesterday. Super crazy. SFUN is broaching, potentially going red to green. It's touching off previous close. Let's watch this one right now. So again, when you see price broaching pre-market high, you want to see it get above and hold. You want to see these moving average lines push price above. So watch if this is going to be a 1 minute bull flag and push price above, or if it's going to be a failure. SFUN, let's go and take a look at that one right now. See, it's broaching right here, that 560 area. Trying to go red to green, see if it can get above 560 and hold and continue upwards. As you can see, it's at a key area right here. You want to see it get above and hold. So you can see, sold all the way off. Bulls came back in, pushed it back up. Now it's right at previous close, going potentially red to green. Got to see now if it's going to hold or if it's going to dump. So at this point, if you were to take a trade on this, you want to see it hold the red to green and get above 560, and then you want to see 560 area hold. And you want to see volume coming in on it and push price up. So you can see it kind of bull flagging now, but you want to see these EMAs cross. You want to see a 9 and 20 cross and get and push price up higher. There we go. It's broaching that. There it is, broaching. You want to see it get above. So at this point, you want to see it again, get above 560 and push price up. There we go. Now you want to see if 560 can hold and push and continue upwards, or if it's going to fail. Retest. Now you want to see that retest, see if it can hold or if it's going to fail. You can see, just be aware as well with SFUN, just starting to broach overextended. on the daily, and you want to see it obviously continue upwards, or actually be aware that it could pull back. If you are long on it, you want to see it continue upwards. You can see the moving average lines are bullish, so at this point you want to see it go, continue upwards, and not fail that 560. So watch 560 and previous close and see if it'll continue. Could be reversing as well. Be careful for a potential reversal candle over here. Let's take a look at some other ones. Let's see here. Let's still keep an eye on this one for a moment. Might be trying to do a reversal. Got to see in this. Again, something like this could be a reversal and fall, or it can turn into a bull flag, right? So you can see this go up. It could bull flag and hold 560, or it could be a reversal to fall. HTBX is still holding the 9 on the 5 minute. That might be bull flagging. It's still got to get above that 185 marker. We'll pull that one up in a moment. Dang, I should have put the AC on today. I'm hot. I'm still keeping an eye on HTBX and GEMP peripherally. They're both showing some weakness at this point. This one right here, still riding. You want to see this 9 EMA on the 1 minute catch up. Want to see it hold ideally that 564 mark and push up and have these moving average lines start to catch up. And now at least point. Want to see it break above that 567 right up here and continue upwards. HTBX is showing some failure and weakness right now on the 9 EMA on the 5 minute. So this one's just kind of slowly moving SFUN. You can see it's a high floater, right? So really slow mover. So you want to see it break above 568 and continue. And watch this 9 EMA. Watch this 9 EMA on the 1 minute. See if it'll catch up the price and push price up. And keep it going. Again, being aware of that 560-ish marker on the daily. Very important level. You can see all of that resistance back over here. Keep an eye on $6. If this continues upwards, keep an eye on $6 as resistance. Showing some potential weakness. Want to see that 560-ish area hold. So the pattern's getting a little bit weaker here now. But it could be one of those ones that kind of turns into like a diagonal bull flag. Gotta see, like watch right over here. It can turn into one of those. So if it kind of goes up, it might be one of those that kind of trades upwards, but now it's starting to break down. So this one might be showing some failure and some weakness right now. You want to see it continue up, or we might look at something else because it might be failing. But you can see it's retesting that 560 area now. Definitely showing some weakness. HTBX is failing now. So isn't GEMP. BLNK is not looking so hot either. I'll pull up some other ones for trade ideas in a moment. Just want to watch this one, see if it fails. You can see it's not looking so hot at the moment. And yeah, I'm not liking it anymore. So let's take a look at some other ones that were on trade ideas. IHT, that was halted this morning. Let me pull up the daily. Man, that went really way up, huh? 181 up to 367. Let's pull up the 5 minute right here. What the heck? Oh, this is a really crappy looking. Dang. Not much, no history right back from yesterday. Let me go to the daily. Yeah, it's so, look, it's just so choppy, huh? So you can see right here, I mean, this one's really let's see, 273 to 367. You got to be very careful of a big 5 minute doji candle like that. You can get really trapped on that. Let's take a look at AVXL. That's hitting trade ideas. Let me do this. AVXL. So that one moved right up. Now it's got the kind of this dark cloud cover on the 5 minute. Big kind of spinning top doji candle. So that one might be failing. Take a look at the daily. Yeah, it's coming right back to that double bottom area around 250. Let's see. I'm sorry guys, there's a lot of just kind of messiness and I'm looking at some of these patterns. BLNK might be kind of moving up. Let me see here. Be aware again of this gap on the daily. These gaps get very, very volatile. So let's see here. High days at 765. It's kind of messy and choppy right now. Let me go to a 5 minute. So what you got to be aware of is these wicks, right? So when you have this big, huge wick like this, when you look in the future, these candles over here, it gets trapped within these wicks right over here, and that's where you see it can be very difficult. Again, I'm more of a pattern trader, and I like to have the patterns. Like I like to see this, a nice bull flag like this, back to the moving average lines when it goes up. When you start to get stuff like this, it gets very choppy. That's when you got to slam hotkeys real quick and like boom, boom, right? In and out, in and out. See NVTA. NVTA. NVTA, got to keep an eye. This is on hitting trade ideas. Keep an eye on some resistance right at that 9 EMA, at that 635-ish level right over here. Right in this area. I'm not really liking that one right now. ENPH is on trade ideas. So this one broke out of that symmetrical triangle. You can see some support right over down in here at that 560-ish area. Let me take a look at the hourly. So it kind of had a double bottom or a cup and handle kind of breaking out. Zoom in on this one right here. Right here you have some support around that 560-ish area. You can kind of draw your trend line right over like this right here. So watch this one and see it's touching the trend line now. See if it breaks or if it continues. This one might be failing now. That's what, and now see it's getting a bounce. That's why you got to watch these guys. A lot of these ones, they hit trade ideas, they move up really quickly, and then they reverse, right? The tug of war between the buyers and the sellers and the bulls and the bears happens over and over and over. That's why you got to draw your support and resistance lines, trend lines, and watch. Right now it's breaking that trend line. This is potentially failing this pattern. It's again, it was kind of like a diagonal bull flag. It's still in the channel right now, so if you see it here, you got to be very, very aware over here, but you can kind of see right up in here. So it's still bull flagging and price is caught right up in the middle of it. But these candles get a little bit tricky to trade, these spinning top candles like that. But right here, you want to see this one, if you're bullish on it, continue up in this channel. The 9, move it up or catch up on the 1 minute, push it up. Again, be aware it's starting to get a little bit overextended. Yeah, BLNK, maybe. Let me go back to that one as well. Still a bit messy on this one right here, BLNK. Might be forming like a symmetrical triangle. Just a little bit choppy. You got to be quick. If you were to trade something like this, again, hotkeys. Let me take a look at RKDA, guys. This one. So this one, keep an eye on right here. Might be bull flagging. It's holding the 9 EMA right now, kind of forming this pennant pattern right here. So now at this point, you want to see if that will hold inside the pennant and break out, or watch for potential failure. And then you can see 220 or 1225 is resistance over here. Let me go back to the daily, which is, and then you can see 1297, that 20 EMA. So yeah, 1225, that's the high of this candle over here from yesterday. So again, like to find those patterns and see if they hold right here. So this might be bull flagging for potential breakout, or it might fail. Got to watch and see. Oh, that's awesome to hear, David. Dan is the man. You guys see these patterns here? That bull pennant, right, from our course that we teach. You can see the pennant pattern, and then it's touching right off of that 9 EMA in the 1 minute. You want to see it hold, break out of the triangle, and if there is a retest, you want to see it hold and continue. And you can see that resistance right over here, previous high yesterday, 1225. You want to see it go and continue upwards. So now it's kind of breaking out of this right over here. You can also change it to kind of over here as well. You can kind of extend it outward a little bit. So got to keep, you know, again, these trend lines, keep an eye on them. Sometimes they're not as exact, but that's why that 9 EMA can be a very good guide for you right here on the 1 minute and the 5 minute. It's overextended on the 5 minute, or it's a little bit far away. So that's why you got to see, is this going to be bull flagging and hold, or is it going to break down? Now it's starting to try to get out of the channel. Now you want to see it hold. Amanda, there she is. She speaks. The big tag team of Amanda and David. So it's pushing out, coming back down, retesting. Now you want to see it hold and continue upwards. And showing lots of weakness. So this is where, again, when you're a trader, you got to see, are you a 1 minute trader or are you going to wait and play a 5 minute, right? If you're a 1 minute trader, you're going to be in and out. It's going to be very messy and very tricky over here. If you're a 5 minute trader, you might wait for this pattern to kind of, let's see, let me clear these drawings over here. You could do this and draw like a bull flag, like kind of like sort of like that, right? Let the 5 minute pattern hold and then kind of get in a break of above a 5 minute candle. You know, either this one right here, using this one as a stop, but see now it's failing, right? Falling right down, boom, broke the pattern. So that's where, again, if these 1 minutes could get very hairy, you see the pattern started to break down. That's why many people like to take it slow. Watch for these patterns to form. You can see right here, there was a hammer on the 5 minute. You could have gotten in at the break above that 5 minute hammer over here and rode it up over there. Took your profit when it couldn't break the high over here, right? So again, these patterns, very, very important. You can play something. Again, like let's go over to BLNK. You know, you can play the choppiness within here with hotkeys. It's just the patterns right now are just not good, right? You have lots of choppiness. You got to be in and out super quick. There's really not a good 5 minute pattern setup over here. I'm still looking for some good patterns right now, and ones that I was watching and from the watch list, and nothing really great right now. Let's take a look at some of these other ones. Here, this one's just dumping right now as well. HTBX. We posted a new scanner. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Dan. Let me look at the daily on this one. So again, prices in the gap right now. That's why it's super volatile for HTBX. You can kind of draw a trend line kind of right here. So it's just kind of caught like all in between here, right? It may fall down here. See if it can continue. But again, it's in the gap, very volatile. Not a good pattern at all right now. GEMP went up, dumped down, right? Pumped up, pumped down. So I'm just showing you guys, this is what I'm looking at, just so there's really not much not much going on right now, because the patterns are just, they're crappy, right? This one right here, crappy pattern, RKDA. This was potentially decent, potentially bull flagging. Now it's just dumping off right now. SFUN. Same thing with this one. Went up, pump, fell right back down. CLMT not much doing much of anything either. Buds. That one's kind of selling off as well. VVPR. So nothing much going on with the watch list right now. Let's look at trade ideas. SDLP. Tony, let's see. Tony, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and click the notification bell. Guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, very, very important. Make sure you click the notification bell on YouTube. If you want to know when we're going live, rather than asking us every day, if you go right over here to YouTube, very simple, click on, you can see we are live. But if you go to Bullish Bears, you will see on our channel, now I'm logged in right now, but you'll see a subscribe button over here, and then you'll see a notification bell. Make sure you click on this notification bell, because that's going to let you know each day when we go live, right? Some days we might not go live, and then when we do go live, you'll see over here. So very simple. Click the notification bell, and then you'll know when we're live. And not much going on, guys. Let's BLNK again. Got some volatility. So this one may be forming a triangle pattern right now. So if you look, right over, kind of right in here. You guys see this right here? Let me try to get that kind of working. So it kind of has a bull, almost like a bull pennant pattern. Again, it's sloping down a little bit more than I would like over here. So I'd like the apex point to be a little bit higher. But again, just keep an eye on this. It might be trying to set up to break out. But these triangles, again, you got to be very, very aware of the risk management on them. So you see that? It just like that. It just went, see that? That's how quick it happens. Bang, bang. That's why you got to be very quick and then have your stop losses and your risk management set up if you are to trade them. Yep, fake breakout. SFUN might be trying. What happened on BLNK is a messy setup. That's what happened. And now it's failing it, right? So that's why these patterns are super, super, super important. So guys, that's where it's like, we all want to trade every day, right? We all want to get in, we want to make a bunch of trades and make a ton of money every day, win on every trade, all that good stuff, right? But that's not realistic, right? The best traders in the world, they still fail 35, 40% of the time. And the most important part of trading is not going in and making winning trades all the time. It's setting proper risk management, being aware and accepting that risk, and aware that trades will go against you. And when the setups are not there, don't trade, right? So perfect example, you know, BLNK, right? That was the hot stock to watch. It was the top of trade ideas today. Everybody's watching it, right? So, you know, you can be new and just be like, I want to make money on BLNK, right? You want to get in and trade it, but the pattern sucks, right? I mean, look at it, like it's, you know, it failed. You can see the trend line pre-market, right? You can see there was a nice trend line pre-market like this right here. At the open, it just crashed, failed it, right? This 5-minute candle was a crappy 5-minute candle at the open. And look at this. So now all the way over here, it's over a half hour into the market, and all of this garbage that you see over here is being affected by this candle here. The setup is terrible, right? So my point being in all this is, if the setups aren't there, don't trade, right? And that's where patience comes in, is don't just trade just to trade, right? Find these patterns, put these patterns in your favor, and then, you know, if they're not working, don't trade. And there's just messy. I just showed you guys the watch list. Everything's it's just messy right now. The ones I'm watching. Sorry guys, I wear this ankle brace and it's digging into my ankle right now. Wow, man. I like standing, guys. I feel much better standing than I do sitting. But then I broke my ankle, was it a couple years ago? And it gets sore. Getting old, guys. Almost 40 years old. I wear a back brace, an ankle brace, all that good stuff. That's what we do for you guys with the Bullish Bears, right? All right, so my point being in all that, it's kind of it's garbage right now. Crappy looking. So let's take a look at something else. FENG. All right, so this one... This I kind of like, right? So let's go over to this one right here, see if it can break above high a day, first of all. Now it's breaking. You can kind of draw, we'll get to this point. Draw kind of like a trend line here. House arrest. Now I got to take this stupid, guys, give me a second. I'm going to show you this. I got to take the stupid ankle brace off. I'll show it to you. So FENG is hitting trade ideas. Let's go over here. There's a gap. Looks like there's a gap on the daily right over in here. Right? See that gap between 544 to 560? So right here, kind of this gap area right here. And if you go to the 5-minute, this is where I like to see patterns, right? Zoom in. You had kind of a bull flag here, right to the moving average lines, popped up. Now, again, some choppiness up in here, but again, there's more of a pattern, right? I can draw a trend line here. I can see my support and resistance. I can see a bull flag here, pull back here. Now it's struggling. It's got to continue upwards, but at least there's, you see what I'm saying? There's more of a pattern to trade than BLNK, let's say. That's why, again, many times on our watch list, it's nice because the patterns will form a little bit. But also at times, you got to wait for the volume to kick in. So there's so many different factors, patterns and volume and all that good stuff. Many of the ones that, sorry guys, I'm trying to get this stupid thing off still. Many of the ones that hit trade ideas pre-market will also fail. That mob mentality, right? All right, there we go. Jeez. Here's my ankle, my, whatever you call this thing. All right, so here we go. Now it's breaking high a day. See if it can hold and get up into the gap. Right here, so you can kind of see here, I could draw a trend line. It's forming like, right here, there's that bull flag. Now you can kind of see here, it's forming almost like an ascending triangle. It's kind of breaking out now. Now you want to see it get above and look for this gap, right? 542 to 560-ish area. So this is what I like is you can kind of predict and you can see the patterns. You can have good risk management. And if the trade goes against you, you can, you know, again, set really good risk management, right? At this point, it's kind of riding the 9. You can see clear resistance. You can see the gap on the daily. You can see the pattern on the 5-minute. It was getting choppier over in here, but you can see it kind of just grinding this 9 right over here. So again, if you got in, I'm not saying to get in on something like this, but if you got in on a trade like this, you can get in closer to the 9. You can follow the pattern. You can cut your losses if it goes against you, and you can have good risk management. So these are the things I like to look at. These types of trades. They have a good, clearly defined pattern. Now, it's also going to be a little bit slower of a trade because you can see this is shares outstanding. So it's higher than float. Thinkorswim doesn't have a float tab. Why? I have no clue. But typically it's a good guide though. Shares is usually higher than float. And you can see, you know, once you get above over 50 million shares outstanding, it starts to get slower. So you'll get kind of these slower movers. You won't get necessarily a real quick pump and a dump like you would. So it's going to be a slower grind, right? But it's, again, kind of like good risk management. I'm more of a kind of a slower trader, slower grind kind of guy, right? There's other people that like to get in 1 minute, in and out within seconds. And there's not a right or a wrong way. Just whenever you're trading, you got to set up and have good risk management strategies. Super, super important. And this again, you can see it's just kind of slowly grinding away. So with a stock like this, if you caught it a little bit earlier, right, it is super extended on the 5 minute right now, so and on the 1 minute, so you got to be very careful. But right here, you could have saw right here, there was kind of this, what do you call it, like a pennant or a flag pattern right here to the 9, right towards the 9 on the 5 minute. You could have gotten in at the break of this candle right here, or one of these over here, 511, 512, and you can see you could have gotten shook out a couple times over here, but there still wasn't a close. So if you got in a break above, let's say 512, and had like a 502 or $5 risk management, that's what, 10 or 12 cents. And if you got to close below it, you'd get out. And you can see it went up. You had a little false break, came back down, and look, it retested the 9 on the 5 minute, but still no candle close below that. And now you could be riding it, right? And then determine when you're going to take profits. Again, that's up to you. But as you can see, if you got in above 512 and it's getting up to 540, you know, it's a 28 cent move, you know? So then you can adjust your stops on the way up and kind of move it up here. You can use it to close below the 9 EMA on a 1 minute. That's Dan's strategy. Yeah, hotkey whacker. Yeah, that's right, David. Yeah, some people are really like doing that. I'm more of by trading style, I'm more of a kind of a swing trader or a slower trader. I'm doing obviously a lot for you guys here. We're doing and showing you guys the day trading because we're just trying to grow things. And, you know, Dan and Tim, they still work full-time jobs, guys. So we're just kind of grassroots company, just kind of growing along the way. And eventually, you know, the more we grow, the more we can keep giving back to you guys. But, you know, we've kind of changed like that. I'm more of a, like I said, more of a slower trader, more of a swing trader. But again, I can still show you guys the support and resistance and all that good stuff. Dan is more of your quicker in and out, hotkeys, day trader kind of guy, right? But it doesn't mean one is better than the other. It doesn't mean his style is better than mine or my style is better than his. Again, you got to determine what type of trader you are. If you want to be in and out and smack hotkeys, you really focus on these 1 minutes, find a 5 minute setup, boom, get in and out. If you're kind of a slower grinder, you know, watch the 5 minute, get an entry on a 1 minute, and then watch for reversals on a 5 minute and when to get out or when to get in. And as you can see, it's still slowly grinding up. Yeah, BLNK still not looking great. Now be aware, if you're looking at FENG, be aware of resistance right around that 545-ish marker. Let's see. Let me get rid of these drawings. Sometimes I draw too many drawings and it makes me, look at that. So there we go. So it's right at that, see that 200 SMA? Be very careful there. It's going to hit some resistance potentially, and you can see 546 to 557. So it's got to get above that 200 SMA, and it's touching right, put it right there. Right here is like that 200 SMA. Overextended on the daily. You can see this gap. There's no guarantee that's going to get filled, but you want to see this area hold. And if you're bullish on it, you want to go and see it go and see if it can fill that gap. It could easily fail. That's where, again, look at the 5 minute, look at the 1 minute, watch these patterns. kind of a doji or spinning top candle here. It needs to get above 540. If that fails, it could easily reverse. So this is a warning candle, the spinning top, right near resistance, needs to get above 540. It could easily fall back down. And again, you can kind of draw a trend line like this, right? So if you draw this trend line, you can see this could easily fall back down right towards that 9 EMA at any moment or at any point and still continue, right? So you can use the trend line as a stop if you'd like as well, or the 9 on the 5 minute if you want to slow it down, or take your profits if it's overextended. Up in the 1 minute, again, you can see some potential weakness right now. It's struggling to get above that 540 area. And there you go. That's a potential reversal again. Goes up, spinning top candle, can't break above the 540. This is where the shorts might kind of come in and try to short it below this candle using the top of that 5 minute candle at 540 as a stop. And now at this point, you want to see if this trend line can hold or that 9 EMA in the 5 minute. So, got to watch the patterns, right? So at this point, it's reversing, it's falling. If there's another potential planet, see if the 5 minute 9 EMA can hold and then continue up, or watch if it fails. All right, what else we got here? We pull up SFUN again. It's kind of doing a bit of a triangular pattern. Let me look at the daily again. So right at that 560 marker. Here again, it went up and it failed it. Now it's kind of, look at that, right below previous close. Go back to the 5 minute. Yeah, I don't really like the pattern on that one. EBIO, let me take a look, guys. Let me remove these. So as you can see, this one kind of broke out again today. Let me just draw. Let's do this right here. You can see kind of a trend line kind of right in this area here, kind of. And you can see, so let me go to the 5 minute. So this is, again, when you're playing patterns, I'm more of a pattern trader. Right, you can see went up, pulled back right here. You had kind of a bull flag. It's a little bit trickier on this one. You would have probably waited right here for, this wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have traded these. These are difficult, but you can see right here, if you got in at a break above this 292, you could have used below that candle as a stop, 286, really tight risk management. Got in right here, bull flag, broke above, and now you could have just kind of, and again, another bull flag went up. Now you have this indecision over here, breaking that trend line, right? So then you decide, okay, is this gonna, am I gonna take your profits up here? And you can see 1, 2 pullbacks, potentially now a third, riding this trend line, showing weakness here. So again, you see these patterns, bull flag, now it might be failing. You can see that spinning top candle, got to be very, very careful. Can still go up, but it's showing weakness, right? Now see if it can hold. If this holds, you might have another bull flag. If this can hold, you want to see it go and break above, break out above high of day. Right here, that 319 area, high of day. Let me take a look at the daily again. So it may continue. But again, be careful trading after the first and second pullbacks. Once you get to the third, it gets very risky, right? So you've had 1, 2, now it kind of can go into no man's land, right? So you guys see this, that trend line that we have right over here. Price is struggling right at it, right here. It's in that indecision phase. Needs to get above. You can see this spinning top candle, going to be very volatile. Fang is still holding that trend line. I'll pull that one up in a second as well, but it might be creeping. It's still holding the trend line, broaching 536 or near that high day of 540. So right here, it's got to get above that 319 area. Are you guys seeing this? The patterns, the trend line, the first, the second pullback, and then these patterns over here and these wicks over here affect what's happening over here on the 1 minute. You can do the same thing, the patterns over here on the 1 minute. You just got to be aware of you just use hotkeys, in and out, right? 5 minutes slows it down, 1 minute's quicker. Yeah, hotkeys on Thinkorswim, you can use hotkeys. They're all right. You can't edit them though. They're just basically buy at the ask, sell at the bid, buy at the bid, sell at the ask. You can't edit them like with differentials like 5 or 10 cent buffers. Interactive brokers you can. Fang is maybe moving up. Let's see here. So Fang, I'm going to seek it above that 540. It's going back up to the high of day. So at this point, you'd like to kind of see it hold here. You can see it's been riding that trend line. It held above it. This trend line's not the greatest. Let me move it up a little bit. Let's see here. Oops. Right around there. Remove this one. So you can see, boom, buyers came back in, buyers came back in here. Now you want to see a break above 540, that high of day, being aware of the gap. A little bit still tricky in this area though, guys. Yeah, EBO it's not looking great at the moment. Now the patterns, again, a little bit difficult here. You can see kind of almost like a flat top area, right? You can see kind of in a higher lows. You can kind of see that flat top area right around that 540-ish area. You can see a few tests over here, right? So you can see kind of an ascending triangle. So now you can see price is really struggling at that 540-ish area. Needs to get above it. But again, why is it doing that? Why is there you know, some indecision near that area? You can see again, go to the daily, go over here. You can see that gap on the daily between 545-ish, 550 or 60 area there. And you can see price is right at the 200 SMA, right? So you have the 200 SMA right around the 530s marker right in here. You have some resistance above and that gap. EBIO is now breaking above 320. Now let's see if it can hold. I'll pull that one up in a minute. Again, kind of an ascending triangle here. It's testing that 540 again. Is it going to break above and hold? Got to watch and see. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 touches here on the 1 minute. Still struggling. So this on a trade like this with an ascending triangle, you got to determine whether you're going to get in when the price breaks above that top and retests and hold, right? If you want to be the safest, you can get in, wait for it to break above, maybe form a bull flag. So maybe it gets above 540, kind of bull flags like this. Okay, so perfect example. So now you got to watch here. Right here, now it is getting right above it here. So now it's breaking above. Now you want to see that 540 area hold, right? So many times you'll miss the breakout. It'll just go up and it'll dump right back down. But if you want to be obviously on the safer side, watch this 1 minute now. It's breaking above here. It's going up to resistance. If the retest hold and forms like maybe a bull flag, then you can get in on the breakable bull flag up using that 540 area, that flat top, a close below that as your stop. But many times it'll just break out and then crash and dump right below. Now it's hitting that resistance right around that 546 area. So that's where you get to determine your risk, right? Do you watch for the retest and have it go up, or do you just not take it? It just goes up and it just fills the gap and it dumps. Or do you get in down in these areas near the 9 EMA and then watch if there's a close below the 9 EMA, you get out. Right here, see what I'm saying? Right over in here. This is now right near the gap. What's it going to do? It's either going to go up and fill it or it's going to fail. But at least, again, see the tight risk management? You can use that 540 area, close below that flat top as a stop. The 9 EMA on the 1 minute is right near there. And now it's moving up, right? Hitting that resistance. Now it's going to go and see if it can fill that gap. Now, is it going to go and continue? Is it going to bull flag? Is this going to be a bull flag here and hold? Or is it going to fail? Still in this channel here, this trend line, right? Still riding it. See if it pulls back. See it right over here, that blue trend line right over here. It goes out into the 540s. So maybe it's going to bull flag here in a 5 minute and go up and fill it, or it's going to fail. See it? Right in the 1 minute. Might be bull flagging. See if it can hold here. You guys seeing this happening right below the base of that gap, potentially bull flagging here, right below 550, a $0.50 amount. So you can see kind of a bull flag, potentially bull flagging here. It's riding this trend line here. You can see the buyers came in over here and held. But now again, look at these patterns, watch what's happening. Look at the 5-minute setup, where it's at, proper risk management. Again here, now it's breaking above. Now you want to see if it's going to hold and fill that gap. But you can use, again, this 9 EMA. Very tight risk management. You can see 543 to 548. That's 5 cents, right? It's a good guide when you can get in on these ones that are these grinders with the patterns. Not as low float. Again, low floats, you're not going to see this maybe as much. You might see if it's got the news. It's going to, like this, pump right up and then drop, right? Yeah, so now you want to see it again. You want to see it get above 550, psychological resistance area. And then see if it can fill this gap right over in here. 557, right? So if you hadn't gotten in at this point right now, so if you were just looking at this and you're like, oh, should I get in on it right now? Well, it's really maybe not the best entry. You might make less than 10 cents on it, right? Because, again, overextended on the 5-minute and on the 1-minute, getting very close to filling that gap. But if you got in back over in here, or even right over in this candle here, 540s, maybe you got in at the break right here, 540s, you're using this area break above this, using this 540 as a stop. Now you're up 8 cents. Maybe it goes to fill that gap up, 540 to almost 560-ish area. That's, 15 to 20 cents. If you got in again back over here or in this area over here, again, great stop over in the 540s. And then consider taking profits, right? 10, 15, 20 cents. You guys seeing the struggle again right here? All these touches on the 1-minute right over here. This indecision. Why is it doing that? Again, go back over to the daily. Zoom in. And it's happening right here. Right at that 546-ish marker. Why? Because it's the base of this gap between here and here. That affects it all over here. Now, a lot of times what will happen up here is you'll think it's going to go and fill that gap, and then all of a sudden you'll see a boom, just crash right down here. Boom. It might just dump, fall right back down here, and then wait for the new pattern to form on the 5-minute to go up, or it might not fill, right? There's no guarantee it's going to fill now. Got to watch and see. Now it needs to get above that 548 marker. Right over here. And this is where patience comes in, guys, right? You see it's just kind of slow right here. It's just kind of slowly grinding. Determine if you're like, oh man, this is too slow. I don't like this. This is like, I want to be quicker. Then trade 1 minute, right? If you're like, oh, okay, 1 minute's too quick for me, slow it down to the 5-minute and do this, right? Find your patterns, draw your trend lines. If you don't see a good pattern, you didn't get a good entry, don't trade. Very simple. Don't trade. You can't lose if you don't trade. Hannah, happens to everybody, huh? I think Hannah's having some frustration today. Happens to everybody. That's the beauty of trading, right? There's good days and there's bad. That's the other thing, guys. If you're having a bad day, it's also important to know when you're able to just walk away. If it's not your day, you're not feeling it, walk away. Here we go. It's broaching again. 549, right at that 550-ish marker. Can it get above? $550 area, very important. There you go. It's at 550. Will it hold? Again, there you go. It's breaking above 550. 555. Will it fill that gap at 556, 57-ish area? Yes, it is, David. So newbies, this is not where you would chase at this point. You would not be getting entries here when it's right at resistance. You would not be buying up in these areas. You could potentially buy if it gets above, right? If the pattern gets above that 560 area and it holds and the pattern holds out, then you possibly could. But again, you'd have to be aware of one pullback already, two pullbacks. After the second pullback, you have to be very careful. Look at that, starting to pull back right here. This 9 EMA is a good guide. This 550 area, you can see some pulling back here, creating some indecision. Now see if it bull flags and goes up or if it fails. I'm looking at SFUN. That one's failing right now. BLNK still not looking great. HTBX not looking so hot. GEMP not looking so great. EBIO might be failing as well. So this one's looking the most decent at this point. Just want to see if it fills that gap. Just want to show you guys. Super important on these gaps. Yep, FANG is shortable. Easy to borrow over here. Just be aware, again, if you short it, it's not, I mean, it is overextended. Use these areas of support. You know, if you short up at the gap, be aware of the moving average lines on the way down for potential covering. Right here, is it going to bull flag and just go and fill that gap? Gotta watch. Patterns, guys. Patterns, patterns, patterns. Super important. There we go. Is it going to hold and continue and just fill that gap? What's it going to do? See that? You can use that 9 EMA on the 1 minute as a nice guide to close below that right now. Might be your potential out. going to come back to FANG in a second. Let me go to EBIO again. Pull that one up. So EBIO kind of failed that trend line, and it's kind of just trading sideways now. So this one, again, it had a similar pattern to FANG, right? One pullback, two pullbacks, and then it got choppy right around the third one, and kind of now it's just a little bit difficult, right? So you can see a big pullback, or a pullback on the 5-minute, another one over here, then it got choppy over in here, and go back over to FANG again. FANG had a pullback, now it's obviously in decision mode at what it's going to do. Right over in here, just go up and fill the gap already and get it over with, right? Very close. But as you can see, just riding that trend line. Great way to manage your risk and use that 9 EMA as your guide. Yeah, EBIO is going sideways. So again, guys, everything, or when you're trading, it's just important to just determine your strategies, right? Are you a day trader? Are you a swing trader? Are you going to trade options? Are you going to trade stocks? Are you a person that likes to get in and out really quickly with hotkeys? Or, you know, are you more of a slow kind of trader, right? If you like the hotkeys and you want to get in and out, you're impatient, you just want to get in and out really quickly, then you would just zoom in on these 1 minute, play these 1 minute charts. If you want the kind of the slow grinder, go a little bit slower, then you find these patterns right here. Look at a 5-minute setup, look at your entry on a 1 minute, and then maybe, again, if you're a slow trader, maybe you just use your 5-minute as your stop, right? So if you're a scalper, really quick in and out, then you use your 1 minute as a guide. You still ideally want to have a good setup on a 5-minute chart and trade on a 1 minute. If you get and start trading a 1 minute chart without a good 5-minute setup, that's when you got to be super quick, and it can go against you very quickly. Can you make really great gains quickly? For sure, but you could also lose a lot of money as well. And I'll show you again. I'll go back to BLNK in a moment. So this is where I'll just show you guys here, just looking to see if it fills this silly gap at this point. That's all I'm looking at. Right here, it's getting close. Right here, it's just riding that 9 EMA. You guys are funny. Right here, got to get above that 555, kind of that flat top, that ascending triangle, riding the 9 EMA. Do you guys see that since it broke out above 540, above that flat top, there still has not been a close below the 9 yet on the 1 minute. So if you had gotten in either down in here or down in here, you could use the 9 on a 1 minute as your guide. Very close to filling that gap right now. Should be right there. Now, if the gap fills and price breaks above it, like right where it's at right now, and breaks out, you want, again, if you're bullish on it, you want to see it keep going up. But many times these will break out, come back down, and just fail the gap. So if it breaks out above, a great stop would be the gap right down over here. So if it breaks above that 557, 560 area, and it retests, if you start getting a close below that gap, that's a good area as a stop. You guys seeing this? Nice trend line, riding the trend line. So you got the trend line here, bull flag here, second bull flag here. Had a kind of a flat top breakout over here, right? Broke out, riding it right into the gap, filling the gap right now. Is it going to hold and get above, or is it going to fail? It's retesting, retesting. Again, be very well aware. Very overextended on the 5 minute. Very overextended on the 1 minute. Let's go to the hourly. Overextended a lot on the hourly as well. Next stop would probably be about $6 range. 586 to this range. Some resistance up in here. Again, overextended everywhere. Let's take a look at the daily. Overextended on the daily as well. So obviously this needs to go and continue upwards. Now you could adjust your stop up into this area right in here, 557, 556. This 9 EMA on a 1 minute, a close below that might not be good at this point. But again, stocks can continue to go up when they're overextended. That happens all the time. There you go. Now what? And there you go. Some indecision. See if it continues. Now it's starting to move away more from that 9 on the 1 minute here. So be aware of a potential pullback. That's awesome, J Boogie. Like to hear that. Yeah, Thinkorswim is really good. They set you up on your virtual account with delayed data. Just give them a call and just tell them you want real-time data added. If they give you a hard time, tell them you're with another broker. Tell them you're in a big community that they've done it for, yada, yada. If they don't do it, I think if you put like $50 or $100 in there or something like that, they'll still add it on, but they should just add it on for you. Just call them. If you get a bad rep, call up and get a second rep. There you go. So guys, now you would see here this area right here is a good stop. That 558 to 560, you can see 580s to $6 resistance. Now price is starting to get further away from that 9 EMA. That's where you want to be very well aware of a potential pullback. And newbies, you don't buy in this area out here. Super overextended. And Fang is still hitting trade ideas. Now again, this is where you want to be aware of, especially for all the newbies, right? Think about this for a moment. Picture all the trading companies out there, everybody that's just trading and has their scanners. You're in a trade room and you're hearing out a guru or a trader or whoever, or multiple, calling out Fang, and Fang keeps going up and Fang's breaking out, and you're hearing all that stuff. So you're like, oh man, this is great. I got to get in on this stock right now, right? But you got to be very aware of these patterns, right? Fang has had a major pullback over here, or you've had one pullback, you've had two pullbacks. Now, again, you can start to hear, again, all traders and gurus saying, hey, it's getting ready to break out. It's breaking out. And Fang broke out. There you go. It's breaking out. And then if you're a newbie, you could be like, oh, man, I got to get into that, right? It's breaking out. It's breaking out. But you got to be aware of one pullback, two pullbacks, super overextended, already filled the gap. It could still go up. Some of these ones, again, yeah, if you missed the move and you didn't get a good entry, sometimes you just got to walk away, right? You got to be super careful when a stock is overextended like this and could literally dump at any moment. And being aware of these support and resistance areas. So this is a stock right now with Fang. You want to wait for it to kind of pull back again if you're going to trade it. Pull back on the 5 minute, pull back on the 1 minute. If you're going to scalp it real quick and try to, make 5-10 cents on it, maybe you play the 1 minute chart. But if you want to slow it down a little bit, you got to wait for it to pull back on the 5 minute, but then at that point, you still have 3 pullbacks. So, again, determine your risk management and be very, very careful. You can see it's showing some weakness right now. This could easily fall back right down to 560, this area here, easily. Right here, it's pulling back to the 9. Yeah, like Dan's saying, those EMAs, when they trade sideways, you got to be very careful. You want to see them either going up like this or going down if you're shorting. Right here, weakness, not looking good. You want to see it at this point if you're bullish on it, really hold that 9 and push up. But again, just be aware, one pullback, two pullback. Now you have almost probably pretty much the third right here right now. It's risky. Failing the 9. And this is trading, guys. Over and over and over. And I would guarantee you there's a whole bunch of newbies caught up somewhere all out in this area over here. They got caught up in this candle right here. Why? Because it's hitting trade ideas. Why? Because their stock rooms and services pumping, saying, hey, I just made 30 cents off of Fang. You get caught up and trapped up over here. Now you're going to panic and you're going to be like, I just bought at 570s. Why am I already down 10 or 15 cents? Should I hold? Should I hold? Should I hold? And meanwhile, just fading. It could still go up, but this is a big warning sign. This is like a bearish Harami candle or setup right over here. Now you have kind of that spinning top. Failed the 9 right over here. Big close below it. Could still go up, right? Anything can happen. But this indecision, you got to be very, very careful of it. There you go. Doji candle. Very risky to trade this now. It could still hold, right? It could still form a bull flag here, but be aware. One pullback, two pullback. Now you're on your third. It can easily go up or it can easily dump. Very difficult to trade those doji candles. Love to hear it, guys. We'll let this one play out for a couple more minutes and then I'll finish with you guys. Give you a recap a little bit, show you some things, and then shut it down a little bit. It is still holding that trend line though, if you see over here. But this is where FOMO comes in, right? Fear of missing out. When you can see this and you'd be like, oh man, I wish I got in back over here or over here. Like, this is just kind of riding. This is a really good trade, but think about what's happening right now. It's almost 11 o'clock. You've had three. They're on the third pullback right now. It could still get up, but, you know, again, this is where you got to determine your risk. It's kind of trading the side. EMAs are trading sideways over here right now. You got the risk of a third pullback. You have this doji candle on the 5-minute. What do you do? I don't know. I personally wouldn't trade it around here. Yeah, there is a little bit of lag on the YouTube, guys. That's the trade-off. We might go live on a different platform down the road, but then YouTube's right. That's the thing, right? YouTube, accessible to everybody, makes it easier. So there is a little bit of a lag on YouTube. But again, we're not doing entries and exits, so we're not calling that out. We're not a stock pumper. We're not a stock pumping service, so we're trying to teach you guys, not call out trades. So here you go again. Doji candle. Now it's getting messy over here. You guys see this? This 1 minute. It's getting messy. What's that, David? Getting messy, choppy, and it's really testing this trend line. What's your idea, David? And there's the trend line master, Dan. Love your charts. And there you go, guys, right? We're going to let this play out and see what happens. But this right here, major warning on, guess what? Right down here, big selling volume candle. Selling volume. Doji candle on the 5-minute. 1, 2 pullbacks. Here's your third one, failing the trend line. Warning, 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 warning. And there you go. Over and over and over and over and over again, guys. Here's the top of that gap right over here. This line that it's at right now. Now watch if it fails. Moving average line starting to point downwards right now. See it pointing down. And it's failing the gap. Hope you guys are watching this, guys. Just showed you a trade of just textbook trading over and over and over. Yeah, we'll do, David, we have it. Join.me. We can do live that way. Again, we're just, we're not stupid. We have a 20-something thousand people on YouTube, and we don't have 20,000 members. So my marketing brain saying, hey, we're going to talk to people on YouTube for a while, get them members, and then eventually we'll probably switch over to join.me. That's my marketing strategy for anybody listening. Because honestly, at this point, guys, at some point, I mean, again, we're not going to probably stay $10 a month forever for people. So for you guys that are paying $10 a month and have been around, we'll take care of you guys. For those that want to stay on the fence and get everything free forever, someday they may wake up and we might be more than $10 a month. Nobody gives away everything we're giving away for $10 a month. That's not being arrogant. That's what happens. You know. So guys, this is it. So I'm going to go over this. I'm going to recap this for you guys and then kind of just shut this down for you. So first of all, I'm not really the morning person, guys. So you can see it takes me a while to wake up a little bit. So my brain, like, it kind of slower at first again, because I'm more of this, right? I'm more of a kind of slow, kind of grinder pattern kind of guy. Dan's the crazy in and out, super quick, fast, hotkey kind of guy. That's his kind of style. He's ready. He's in and out, bang, 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 right? I like for things to kind of slow down. That's just kind of more my style. So come 9:30, my head's spinning. Everything's popping off, going like crazy. It takes me a while to warm up, right? So you'll see it takes me a half hour, an hour. And then I And then my brain starts to kick in. So what am I saying? I don't know. I'm rambling right now. So my point being is I like to find these patterns, right? You got to put the trading odds in your family or favor. You're welcome, guys. You put the trading odds in your favor with, excuse me, patterns, right? Patterns are incredibly important. If you don't see a pattern, or again, called otherwise known as a setup, a good setup or a good pattern, it becomes very difficult to trade. Again, you can make a lot of money, you know, trading something that doesn't have a good pattern, like a pump and then a dump. Give you an example of BLNK again this morning. BLNK was the hot stock to watch this morning, right? So, give you an example. BLNK pre-market high was right around that 743 marker, right? You guys see this pre-market high? So what happened at the open? This is just that bleep crazy, right? Just, I mean, this is nuts. This is absolutely bonkers. But again, this is not my style of trading. You're welcome, guys. This is not my style of trading. Dan, other people love this stuff. David, I think he traded he traded within 3 seconds. You can make a lot. There's a lot of traders in trade rooms that are, again, no hate to other trade rooms, but I'll guarantee you there's other trade rooms out there and other leaders that probably claimed a massive win in 1 or 2 right here, probably right at the open. You know, maybe they got in at the break of this 727 and sold it up at 758, and they made 41 cents in 3 minutes. So now they're heroes, right? They come in at 10,000 shares. They made 2, 3, I don't even know what the hell that is, 3, 4,000, whatever that, however that amount of money is. So now, great. Hey, I show you my brokerage account. I just made $5,000. You think I'm a hero? And meanwhile, you're a newbie saying, how the hell did he do that? That was way too quick. What did he do? He's in and out. How? And then meanwhile, you're probably buying in here and then you're screwed. Boom, right? You're buying up in here, dump down. You just went from 765 down to 669. You made $1. Well, meanwhile, I'm the hero trader that just made $5,000 or $10,000 on my brokerage account, and you chased me and you just got dumped, right? That is why we do not call out trades. That ticks me off that people do it and think that that's a good thing. This is how you get screwed. So my whole point being, now I'm all fired up, is this. This is why we don't do this. This is why we don't pump stocks. Again, I'll say it over and over and over and over and over and over again. The easiest thing that we can do is buy a stock. We could have easily gotten in at BLNK, told you we bought in at BLNK, had our trigger on the hotkeys, and then boom, you guys came in right after us. We dumped it up here. You guys bought up here. Meanwhile, you just lost $1. We just are heroes and we made 40 or 50 cents. Hey, here's our brokerage account. Here's however many shares we buy. Here's $5,000. We're heroes. Yeah. Great for us. And meanwhile, you got screwed. This is where, look at this. Where is the pattern? It's garbage. Absolute garbage. But I'll guarantee you there's people claiming to be heroes that they made a crap ton of money. You can trade these. These are great. There's many people that trade these. Good for them. Great for them. But if we taught you like this, it's very, very difficult, right? How do you trade this? This candle, this 5-minute candle, this crazy looking candle, look at it. For the rest of this morning, it's done nothing. It's a crappy pattern. So can you trade these? Absolutely. Can you make a lot of money? Yes, absolutely. But not a great pattern or setup. So going back to FANG. Sorry, guys. I just got all fired up. Now I'm starting to wake up. Going back to FANG. Now, different story, right? So FANG, you have a pattern. You go back over here to the daily chart. You can see there was a gap right over in here. Right over here. There was a gap over here, right? So then you can see there was a clearly defined pattern. This pattern took 5, 10, 15 to 20 minutes to form. So meanwhile, you know, you're looking 20 minutes in, somebody could have been done like a David for the day. He was in and out for 3 seconds. That's awesome. Great. You know, he's in and out making great money. You can trade that way. Absolutely. But if we're trying to teach you guys trading, we giving you guys a good setup right here. A nice bull flag moving back to the moving average line. You can see here there was a flat top right here. Flat top right here formed. Where the hell did that form? Right over here, right? So when price broke above, you could have gotten in at the break of this flat top over here using kind of like your stop right over here, right? Right below these candles, right? So you could have gotten in at the break above over here. Look, it could have shook you out a little bit, came back down, but still no close down here. And then boom, it took off. So now there you go. Nice bull flag, 5-minute chart. Nice little guide right here for, you know, risk management. What is that? 511 down to 501. That's a 10-cent 10-cent stop. So good risk management. You could ride this up, being aware again of resistance areas in that gap. And you can see you could have played it right along here and then boom. So if you got in back over here, waited 15, 20 minutes and you were patient, you could have done Dan's ride the 9 strategy and just shifted it over to the 5-minute chart over here. And when you start to see it close below the 9 on the 5-minute, you can warn it, get out, right? This was a bigger warning. This would have told you to really get out. But if you had waited, you could see right over here, 512 up to 548. That's a 36 cents move, right? So a 36-cent move for just kind of slowing things down right over here. And there you go. Just kind of ride it right over here. Draw your trend line kind of over here. So kind of just rode that trend line. And then it broke it over here. But this was your warning right here. These are where the candlesticks really warn you. This 5-minute doji candlestick after the gap filled was your big warning sign to get out. So you could have made more profit if you got out over in these areas. You guys see this? Bull flag, 1 pullback. Pullback over here. You had a flat top kind of breakout right above that 540s area right here. And then it ran, doji candle, fill back, and now it's in this gap. It could still hold, it could still go up, doesn't mean it's not going to, but these are what I'm talking about with patterns, guys, right? Speaking of which, as I'm talking to you, go over to EBIO. Again, another one. So let's just do clear the drawings over here. Daily pattern right here. You can see there's kind of this bull flag-ish kind of pattern. Kind of see it kind of, I don't even know what you want to call that. Almost like a bull pennant. It's not really great. It's kind of pointing downwards. So at the end of the day, yesterday, I probably wouldn't have been paying attention to it because it wasn't closing above the 9. So I'm sure it probably hit trade ideas obviously today. So then you could start to see, okay, now it's starting to break out right above that $3 range right here, right? So go here, put a line right at that $3, psychological support and resistance, whole and half dollar amounts. Now it's starting to break out of that wedge, $3. So now let's go over here to the 5-minute chart, zoom in over here. So at this point this morning, you can see there was a 5-minute pattern, bull flag right here. So it went up, it got a little bit choppy. These candles are very difficult, but this candle right here, you could have gotten in at the break of this one right here. I would have probably been, this is a little bit risky, these two. Some people could do it if you want, you know, it's up to you. But you could have gotten in at the break of this one at right around that 292. And then you could just have been riding it. If you wanted to get out when it closed over here, that's 311. I don't know, what is that, 20-something cents or whatever. But you still could have still been riding it up over here. You could kind of draw your trend line over here, right? So when it starts breaking the trend line out over in here, it's a warning sign again, super overextended, take your profits and get out. But if you don't want to, you could also extend it and just keep kind of extending it on the 5-minute and do it like this, right? Do this right over here if you want to draw it on the 5-minute. It's up to you what type of trader you are. Again, when it starts breaking these trend lines, really consider taking your profits. So, but again, these patterns, super, super important. Pull back a bull flag. Pull back over here, a bull flag. Again, went up. It starts getting choppier out here. And then the patterns start getting messier, right? This is an easier pattern. Bull flag and a bull flag. Remember, first pullback, second pullback. Now it gets kind of crazier out here, right? So this is why we're trying to tell you guys, patterns, super, super, super important. It's much easier to trade these patterns. Whereas, let's see if there's any other ones. Let's pull up GEMP. This is on the watch list today. So again, patterns. If you're doing patterns, some of these ones you're going to miss, right? So on a strategy like Dan's, you may have missed it on this one. This is kind of quicker, but my strategy, if you're kind of slower, you might miss a move. Whereas with someone like that does hotkeys, right? They want to get in and out. You could have looked at this one at the break of the pre-market right over here, right? Break of pre-market. You didn't, if you waited for a 5-minute candle to form, here's look at this. 5-minute candle, you would have had no trade today. Major 5-minute candle, no trade. If you were a hotkey person, right, you could come in over here, see it kind of forming a base. You could have gotten in really quickly at the break with hotkeys. Slam your hotkeys right here. 660 to 770 at a dollar move. Bang. Up. And then you would have, right here, you started to see some weakness. Bang, get out. Look at that. 770 right down to 670. A dollar up, dollar down. So quick. You guys see this? Bam, bam. You can make a crap ton of money with these hotkeys. You got to be super good. But if you are not good with it, bam, bam, right? So this is where, risk management, you got to be super good at what you're doing. You want to buy down in these areas, not up in these areas. So people are buying down here, let it go up, smack it right back down. So this is where hotkeys comes in, and you can make really good money. But if you're a pattern trader, if you're more of like kind of my style, I wouldn't have been able to trade this, right? I would have, you can't, this is super difficult to trade. You can be both at different times, but not saying. Yeah, so what David's saying, he's saying, I want to piggyback on what Lucian is saying. You should really decide which trader you are before entering the trade. You can be both at different times, but not in the same trade. And he said, if you enter looking for a scalp, then say, I'll wait for a break below the 9 EMA. Your RR will generally not line up. Exactly. That's why we just try to stress to you guys and teach, don't chase, right? Know what type of trader you are. If you miss a move, you miss a move, walk away. Do not chase it. Every single day, there's something. There's going to be something. So again, perfect example. Like, I don't want to say Dan's strategy. He's not the inventor of it, but anybody that likes to be a scalper, right? A scalper may be looking for a trade like this. This could be a trade of the week, right? Right here. Moved up $1 in a minute, right? If you bought 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 shares, whatever, you could have made $3,000, $5,000, right? Just with 1,000 shares, you made $1,000. You're done. You could walk away for the day. So again, a scalper might be looking for this so quickly, they're in and out, they're happy for the rest of the week. But at the same time, that scalper could have gone in, missed their entry by seconds, saw it up here and was willing to risk. Maybe they would have saw this as maybe as it's forming real quick. Oh, this might be a bull flag. I'm going to get in really quick. They got caught up right in here, 750 down to 70s, and now they just lost $800 in the day. So determine your trading style and what you're looking to do, right? So again, this is the risk reward, right? GEMP, low floater. This is what happens with many of these low flowers. They pump and then they dump. Can you make a crap ton of money? Absolutely. You can make $1 and you could lose $1 very, very quickly. Going back to FANG, you could have made over here 512 in this area up to, let's say, 560. Just round up and say, what is that? 5 times that 50 cents, right? Or just say 40 or 50 cents. My math is terrible right now. So you would have waited, or this what is that? 11 o'clock. So it would have taken you from whatever, 9:30 to 11 o'clock to make 40 or 50 cents. Whereas it would have taken that, a scalper a minute to make $1 or potentially lose $1. So again, your risk management on that low floater is not going to be really good. You have to be super quick, whereas your risk management on a higher floater stock is going to be really good. So high risk, high reward, excuse me, for those low floaters. And the higher floaters, more of a lower risk, lower reward. So again, is one better than the other? No. Just a matter of determining your strategy. But what happens is a lot of newbies might have, their strategy might be trading these setups, right? Slower grinders. But let's say for 2 or 3 days, they've been crappy setups. There hasn't been a good setup. And then all of a sudden a stock like, what was that? Whatever, this one right here hits. So now somebody is a pattern trader and they're like, man, I've been frustrated. The past 3 days have been crappy. Nothing's happened up. No good setup. Let me go and I'm going to trade this. So now they're going to break their trading style from being a pattern trader to now I'm just going to go bang on some hotkeys really quick. And now they went up and now they had nothing was happening for 3 days. Now they just lost $1,000, right? Now it's in their head and they're like all frustrated. There's always going to be a pattern to trade and there's always going to be a pump and then a dump, right? Determine your trading style and don't break it. Stick with it. And if the trade's not there, walk away, don't trade. There will always be something that comes along over and over and over. Am I referring to stops or trailing stops? I'm saying just in general, when trading, you should have, let me see, can you expand with risk management with day trading? Yeah, what I'm saying with risk management is, just try to tell people we all want to make money, right? You're trading because you want to make money, right? So you want to make, who doesn't want to make $1.50 gains all the time? I mean, it's not realistic to make that every single day. You might get those once or twice a week or once every other week. But if you want to be a really good trader, you have to make those 10 and 15 and 20 cent gains add up, right? Your brokerage account's going to be gained by, it's going to grow by adding up those 10 and 15 cent and 20 cent gains over time. These $1 and $2, jumps those are going to really what pad your account. But we were going for a while, for a few weeks or a couple months or so, where a lot of those big ones haven't really been hitting at all. But now in the past couple weeks, we've been seeing a lot more of the pumps and the dumps like this, right? They're coming around again. But sometimes they might go for weeks, right, without happening. So that's where you got to just use your account as leverage and, 10 cents, 15 cents. That's great. Use your money as leverage, grow that account, get those $200 and $300 wins, get the $500 win. And then when you make a $2,000 or $3,000 win, that's great. Excellent. Good for you. But the whole point of the risk management is having tight stops, right? This right here in a stock like this is terrible risk management unless you're willing to lose. If you have a gigantic brokerage account and you're like, hey, I'm looking to make $3,000 a day and I'll risk losing $1,000. Hey, good for you. Then maybe you could do this. But if you have excuse me, a small brokerage account, then this is terrible. You're risking $1 in a minute. That's going to screw you. So my point being is you want to buy and have tighter risk management. What is this candle? 632. So this is a perfect example. I'm not saying to trade this one, but at least this candle here, see this tinier spinning top candle? You have 644 down to 632. That's a tighter risk management, 10, 12 cents. So if you took a trade on something like this, your risk management's tight, meaning if you lose on that trade, you might only lose 10 or 12 cents. Whereas if you lose up here, you're going to lose 80 cents, $1. So the point being is being able to know how to cut your losses for when the trade goes against you. Trades are going to go against you all of the time. The best. Go to the best trading company that's out there and that trader still loses 30, 40% of the time. But, let's say their average win. What if their average win is 22 cents, but their average loss is, 9 cents? Their wins are outlasting their losses, right? So, that's how you grow your account. And that's where Dan is saying buy, as close to the 9 as possible, buy low, sell high, right? You don't buy high and then sell low unless you're shorting, right? So that's kind of how the risk management, set up. Is it you want to buy in those, keep your risk management low. Buy at these let me go to a better stock. Fang again, right here. Perfect example at Fang. Risk management. You have a bull flag here, pulling back to the 9 right here. So you have a flag pattern. If you got in on something right here at a break above 510, risking this candle right here as your stop, you have a 10-cent stop on a bull flag. So as you can see over here, you did get faked out a little bit, but look, here's the pattern, bull flag, broke above, came back down, and it would have probably scared a lot of people right here, but look, it touched off the 9, did not close down here, and you could ride it. That's risk management. 10 cents right down over here. This is not good risk management. Buying at the top of this candle. This is where you start getting wacky, right? 530 down to 504 on kind of like that spinning top kind of candle. This is going to mess you up for a while over here. You need to wait for this thing to come back and pull back to the moving average lines. Then wait for a break above here. That flat top. It's at 540 down to 530. Now you're back down to a 10-cent risk management again. So if it goes against you, you see that? 10 cents right here. So now you're risking again. You ideally want to have a 2-to-1 profit loss ratio. So if you're risking 10 cents, you want to make 20. If you're risking 20, you want to make 40. Right? Man, I'm burnt. Real quick, I'll show you BLNK and then I'm going to wrap it down here. Let's see what's going on with this one. So this crazy old one right here, it's getting above VWAP right now. Just because something is getting above VWAP doesn't mean you just trade it. Again, pattern's wacky. It can easily go up, but it can easily come back down. So it's kind of got this it's got kind of a triangular pattern, but it's a little bit wacky. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. So again, when you hear something, all right, BLNK, it's crossing above VWAP again. Okay, great. Let me pull it up. Well, and now you can see as a newbie, oh, this thing's going up. It's moving in. I got to get in right now. Well, you still got this. This is crazy in here, So this is where you might bang on the hotkeys and be like, hey, I might get in at $7 and sell at $7.10, right? But you got to just be aware. There's all this resistance. It gets all messy and choppy in here, right? This might be forming kind of an inverse head and shoulders potentially. This might be kind of a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, but the neckline keeps extending up. All these wicks. Gets messy. Oh, all right. I didn't think I was going to make it through 5 minutes today, and now we're a couple hours in. So hooray for me. So guys, again, if you're watching these live streams, who knows how long we'll do them on YouTube for? I don't know. At some point, we might change things. Right now, again, we're not a stock pumping service. We're not calling out trades. So, yeah, there's a 10-second delay. Watch these. Again, if you just watch these live streams 2 hours long for past 2 or 3 of them, you should really start looking at, again, we're trying to help you become your own trader, not make you reliant upon us. I wish we didn't have the conscience that we do and want to help people differently. The easiest thing, like I said, the easiest stupid thing we could do right now is come in for an hour a day, buy a stock, pump it up to you guys, have you guys chase us, have you guys pat our brokerage account, make us look like heroes, and then we could put some nice funny thumbnails of us holding cash and hey, look at us, we made 5-10 grand today, ha ha ha, yay, and everybody thinks us great. We're great, right? I wish we could do that, but that's just not how we are. So we're in here literally talking for 2 hours over and over and over and over and over again, showing you support and resistance, which is the name of the game when trading. If this is too much for you, then hey, Trading may not be for you, and that's okay. Ideally, we save your brokerage account, right? And we're also going to, too, for the swing traders out there as well, we're going to tweak our scans a little bit, and we'll end up maybe 1 day a week or 2 days a week. I'll just do the same thing that I'm doing now, and we'll just switch up the scans and trade it. By the way, Dan, if you're listening to this, I got to talk to you. Remind me. Switch up trade idea so we can do a second scan for swing trades. We'll tweak our swing trade. Just remind me, guys, whoever's listening to this, Dan, all that, just a reminder to tell Dan and get on Dan to tweak our trade ideas for swing trade ones, and then I'll start doing some live market sessions during the week, maybe once or twice a week, showing it to you with swing trading. What I'm showing you with day trading, same thing with swing trading, just the patterns are show a little bit better with swing trading, less pumping and dumping. So we'll do some live streams again for the swing traders as well, right? So yeah. Oh, over here, make sure you like and subscribe or click the notification bell right over here for YouTube, so that way you can stay notified. So that way you'll know when we're live or not live. And over here, if you guys were wondering who the heck I was talking to this morning, you're on our YouTube channel. All of our talking is done in our trade room over here. So again, we're $10 a month, right? Super cheap. We have a day trading room, swing trading options room. We have thousands of dollars of courses over here, guys. Just take them. They'll keep you busy for months. Lots of private members content. We share trade ideas every single day. Watch us alerts, all that. And right here, $10. And you get all of this. Again, we don't include live screen sharing in our membership right now. We're doing test trials of it. It's going really well. Y'all like it. So if you $10, if you pay the $10 and the $99, we'll make sure you guys are grandfathered in. For you cheapos or ones that want to stick around and try to get everything free, think you'll get it free forever, someday you might wake up and it will probably be more than $10. Or we might not. We have no clue. We have no desire to raise our month rates right now, but some point, someday, we may. All right? So pay the dang $10. We're the cheapest things. Don't ask us for a trial either. $10 is a trial. That's a silly question to ask for you people to ask that silly question. You got to pay for something in this world, right? You don't get everything for free. All right, that's my rant, guys. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to go take a nap or go for a walk or lay out in the sun or all three. I don't know. Some of those. And Dan, get that trade ideas, swing trade one up, and we'll get that working for you guys. And then make sure you guys remind us, and we'll start doing some swing trade live market stuff for you guys. Enjoy.